Hi, I'm Carrie. I found the love of my life in high school, but I ripped his heart to pieces. So I guess I'm the bad guy in this story, but before I continue, please like and subscribe. My dad was a firefighter and he saved my mom's life. It was love at first sight. Soon they were married, and they had my big brother Leo, and 10 years later I was born. I had the perfect family, but when I turned 6, things took a turn. My parents weren't getting along anymore, and every time they were in the same room, they started shouting at each other. They argued so loud I could barely sleep, but Leo was always there to make me feel better. We'd hide out in the basement to play games, and he'd read me bedtime stories. I loved the romantic ones the best. Leo even dressed up like a clown and danced around the room, and I almost fed my fans laughing. A few months later, Mom left us. We were really sad she was gone, but Leo always cheered up with his jokes and silly impressions. He even encouraged me to start writing. When I wasn't writing love stories, I helped him write jokes. After a while, Leo had his own stand-up comedy routine. But when I was 12, I came home from school one day and Leo told me the worst news. My dad had an accident and he'd fallen into a coma. My whole world turned upside down in that instant. Then Leo moved back home to take care of me. He quit comedy and got an office job to pay the bills. You can't do this. What about your tour?
You need me, Carrie. Family comes first.
I felt so guilty that Leo had to give up his dream because of me. When I got to high school, I was determined to get into a good university on scholarship. I focused on my studies and kept turning down my friends' offers to hang out, and soon they stopped asking. Plus, I felt guilty having fun while Leo was sacrificing so much to take care of me. But then this new boy, Andy, joined her class in 11th grade, and it was always flirting and trying to get my attention. I didn't respond at first, but he was so sweet and funny, and eventually I gave in, and soon enough we started dating. Andy was very understanding of my situation and always gave me my space to study. He even encouraged me to start writing love stories again. But then one day after school, Leo came home early from work and caught me and Andy kissing on the porch.
Hey, get away from my sister, you crazy.
Calm down, Leo. This is Andy. He's my boyfriend. But Leo shoved Andy out of the way, then dragged me inside.
Since when do you have a boyfriend? You're too young, and that boy is trouble.
Leo, I'm 16 and you don't even know him.
I'm sure he's just like every other boy on the planet. He'll pretend to like you, then he'll break your heart. I'm just trying to protect you.
You're not like that. Not all boys are. Come on, give him a chance. Just hang out with him once. I'm sure you'll love him. After a lot of pleading, Leo reluctantly agreed, and Andy suggested that the three of us could have dinner together. That turned out to be a pretty awkward evening, because Leo either interrogated Andy like an army sergeant or silently glared at him. At the end of the meal, Leo paid the bill, and as we were leaving, he spotted Andy slipping in some extra tip.
Oh, so you think I'm cheap? Huh? You think I didn't tip enough?
No, it was fine. I just wanted to tip a bit more.
$100. Wow. So I pay for the whole dinner, but you come off as the hero and make me look like a cheapskate in front of my sister by tipping like a prince. Well, not all of us grew up with a silver spoon in our mouths.
Look, you've got the wrong idea.
But Leo didn't listen, and he was pissed. Why did Andy have to do that? After that, Leo and Andy just couldn't get along. Like on my 16th birthday, Andy got me a princess on a costume, complete with a tiara he'd made himself, because I'd once said jokingly,
"Yeah, that's a gift you give a 5-year-old girl, and look who's sheep now. Has your dad gone bankrupt?"
I know it's not an expensive gift, but I thought Carrie would find it amusing.
"Yeah, I do. It's fun."
Please, Carrie, go change into something nice and wear this gold pendant I got for you. See, it has semi-precious emeralds to match your beautiful eyes. It cost me a month's salary, but you're precious to me, and it's totally worth it.
Oh, and gee, you're the sweetest brother, Leo. As he put the necklace on me, he accidentally knocked Andy's tiara off my head and it broke into pieces. Andy turned around to leave and I raced after him. Please don't be angry. It was an accident, and I do think the costume was funny.
Nah, it was a stupid idea. I'm late for something, Carrie. I gotta go.
A few weeks later, I invited Leo to watch one of Andy's basketball games. Andy is the team captain, and I was sure Leo would be very impressed by his performance. The game was extremely close, but Andy's team lost.
Wow, that was painful to watch. And who's the idiot that made you captain? You clearly suck.
Man, why are you such a jerk?
I call it like I see it, dude. You know what? You should be the mascot god. That way you don't have to show your ugly face on the field.
You don't have to disrespect me in front of my team.
Yeah, I do. You're a loser, and someone has to let you know.
Andy's eyes started twitching, and I almost thought he punched Leo, but he turned abruptly and headed to the locker room. Hey, Andy, you don't have to take Leo so seriously. He was only joking.
He's not joking. He hates me and he treats me like garbage. And what's worse is that you don't even see it and won't do anything about it.
What do you want me to do? He's my older brother. You just have to get used to him.
No, actually, I don't.
Andy and I stopped seeing each other after that. It was a no-brainer for me if it came to choosing between my brother and my boyfriend. A few weeks later, I started feeling really sick and had to be taken to the hospital, and it turned out that I needed a new kidney as soon as possible. Leo volunteered to give me one of his, and he turned out to be a perfect match. The surgery was successful and I started feeling much better. better. Leo, you're my hero.
You know I'd do anything for you, Carrie.
Andy, what are you doing here?
You weren't coming to school and the teacher said you were unwell. I was just so worried about you. It felt like torture not being able to see you every day. And I don't want to be apart any longer, Carrie. I've missed you so much.
I've missed you too. A moment later, both of us were startled when the police burst into my room along with Leo.
He's my sister's psycho ex who just can't accept their breakup and won't leave her alone. Take him away?
What?
When the police approached Andy, I stepped in front of him to protect him and managed to convince them that Andy and I had just gotten back together and he wasn't a stalker. The police believed us, but they were really upset with Leo. They scolded him for making a false report, but Leo still refused to let it go.
She's afraid of him and that's why she's covering up for him. Do your jobs, you morons, and arrest him.
And the police hauled Leo off to jail for the night for being a nuisance. And he missed a huge meeting at work, and the next morning he was fired from his job, and I felt horrible. Leo had to take a new job that paid less and made him miserable, and he didn't talk to me for days. Leo, I wish you hadn't overreacted that night and none of this would have happened.
I was only looking out for you, Carrie. You told me you guys had broken up, so I thought he was pestering you, and I teach him a lesson. Now I'm paying the price for wanting to protect you.
I'm really sorry.
You're not the one who needs to apologize.
Maybe if Andy apologized to him, everything would be all right. Look, the situation with you and Leo is really bad. You have to apologize if you want to fix this.
But I didn't do anything wrong. Look, I'm sorry Leo lost his job, but that's not my fault. He acted like a total maniac. Carrie, you were there.
But Leo doesn't see it that way. Unless you tell him you were wrong to sneak into my room and beg for his forgiveness, we can't be together.
That's not fair, Carrie. Come on, we love each other.
And Leo loves me more than anybody. Sure, he can be difficult, but he's always been there for me. Leo comes before everyone else. Andy resisted the idea, but eventually he caved and said he'd do it.
What's he doing here?
Andy's here to apologize to you.
Oh, it's about time, but my forgiveness won't come so easily. Jerk, why don't you go down on your knees and tell me how sorry you really are?
Leo, please don't.
If he really loves you, surely he can do this. I mean, I gave up a kidney for you. I'm not asking him to do much.
Andy turned to me with tears in his eyes.
I'm sorry, Carrie. I do love you, but I can't do this.
Andy and I broke up for good after that. We graduated from high school and Andy went off to a fancy university in another city. I went to a local community college so I could stay close to Dad and Leo, but as I grew older, I started to notice that Leo wasn't as perfect as I thought. Anytime things didn't work out in his life, he'd blame it on someone else.
Of course I didn't get the job. They're all idiots.
But you showed up 20 minutes late to the interview, Leo. Leo started resenting successful people. He even got jealous when I sold my first romance novel to a big book publisher.
What kind of losers would read this junk?
For years, I idolized my brother like a father and ignored his flaws. But as my career took off, he only got worse. Leo quit his job and started partying all the time. He instantly left the house a mess and criticized everything I did, and whenever I brought a boy over, he always said something to push them away.
Geez, I've never met someone so stupid. You have the IQ of an ant. You're really ugly. Does it run in the family?
After a while, I've had enough. What is wrong with you?
I'm perfectly fine, yo. Can I borrow $400?
I can't stand this anymore. You used to be a really nice guy and now you're terrible. You're selfish.
I'm selfish? I sacrificed everything to take care of you. If my life hasn't worked out the way I wanted, it's your fault. And the success you're enjoying now is all because of everything I did for you. You should be thanking me. You'd be nothing without me.
I'm grateful for what you did and always will be, but I'm not going to keep feeling guilty for the rest of my life. I can take care of myself now. You're free. I left my home the next day and moved into my own apartment. The time away from Leo gave me a chance to focus on myself. I started a few new hobbies. Leo eventually apologized in his own unique way.
Lately, I've had the chance to think about a lot of things, and I've been a supersized jerk. Andy was rich, and I felt inferior to him, and I hated him for having things easy. And then I started resenting your success too. What kind of big brother am I? You're better off without me.
You're the only family I have, Leo, and I'll always need you in my life. Leo even convinced me to reach out to Andy. Met Andy at a cafe in New York City. I was so nervous, but the moment I saw Andy's face, all my old feelings for him came rushing back.
Carrie, it's so good to see you. I've really missed you. I've never felt the same way about anyone else. And
Andy, let me speak first. I am so sorry. I was wrong, and I never should have asked you to apologize to my brother. I shouldn't have broken up with you, and I've regretted it ever since.
Maybe if it's not too late, we can start over.
I'd really like that. Then, we shared a kiss. Family love is important, but personal happiness should not be sacrificed. Forgiveness, facing mistakes, and self-love are the keys to building healthy and happy relationships.
Hi guys, my name is Maya, and I'm from Jordan. I have two sisters who are a couple of years older than me. They both have blonde hair, blue eyes, and fair skin, while my eyes are black like my curly hair. My sisters thought they were prettier than me, and they made sure I never forgot that. Once when I was in kindergarten, I came home to show everyone the family tree I'd made. My oldest sister, Layla, the meanest girl on earth, snatched the card from me and said, "Ah, you drew this? I can't deny it's beautiful, but I think you missed something." And with that, she colored my face with a black crayon. "See, now it looks better." She threw the card at me and left laughing with my other sister, Selma. I cried, but Mom hugged me tight.
Oh, Maya, ignore your sisters. They're jealous of your beauty.
Mom always cheered me up, but I realized she was lying. When I was 8 and some guests came to visit, one of the women said to my mom,
Your daughters are pretty, but this youngest one is quite unlucky. I doubt she'll ever get married. Oh well, she can take care of you and your husband and your old age.
I think Maya is special in her own way.
And then Selma spoke up.
Mom, she is ugly. Just face it, stop being stupid and shut up already.
Don't talk to Mom like that, you witch! I pounced on her and bit her arm so hard it swelled up. She had to put on a bandage for a week. As if my sisters weren't awful enough, Dad was a jerk too. He didn't love Mom at all. He was only with her because she was rich. He thought I was ugly too and always blamed Mom for giving me her genes. Since I was Mom's favorite, she did her best to make up for the rest of my terrible family. When I was only in the 7th grade, I had a big closet full of the fanciest clothes and makeup brands. I liked that, but what I really wanted the most was to join an international school in the capital city. Mom said we'd move, but my sisters threw a huge tantrum when they found out. Why would we leave our amazing lives and friends and go live somewhere else? It's not our fault that Mia is ugly and no one likes her here.
Mom, Maya is worthless. She would be more useful if we used her as our broom. Her ugly curly hair is perfect for that.
The 2 witches started laughing like maniacs. Just then, Dad walked in and shouted,
Listen, woman! If you decide to move out, you can consider yourself divorced.
Mom, that's amazing! Mom smiled at me and decided to leave, and Dad did divorce Mom. My sisters had no choice but to come with us, and now they hated me even more. My birthday usually fell on the first day of school, and Mom would always throw a huge party. But this time I told her that I didn't want to celebrate my birthday anymore. Why would someone celebrate losing a year of their life to celebrate getting older? That's just weird.
Baby, why are you saying this? I see celebrating a birthday as being grateful for living another year. Listen, why don't we just celebrate it at school? I'll give all the kids fancy presents and they'll like you from the first day.
No, Mom. I don't want to buy anyone's love. I just want people to love me for who I am. Well, the new school wasn't a lot better than home. On my first day, I met a girl named Noor. She was a redhead and her beauty was unique. When I entered the classroom, she stared at me from head to toe, then said,
Oh, attention everyone, we have a new baby here, but we all know our classroom only has pretty girls with fair faces and light hair. What are we going to do with this ugly duckling?
The room fell silent and everyone was staring at me. Suddenly, I just snapped and started screaming. Shut up, you, and everyone here just shut up, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you, you shallow people. Everyone looked shocked and they started whispering. Just then my sister showed up from behind me. Oh, excuse her, she's our sister, but she has some issues. We are so sorry for her bad manners. With that, they pushed me aside and introduced themselves to Noor and started taking selfies with her. Ugh, these horrible creatures. It was obvious that this Noor ruled the school, and I knew after my outburst she wouldn't leave me alone. But to my surprise, she did leave me alone. I was the invisible girl. No one dared to talk to me or sit next to me because they knew Noor would be mad. Things went on like that for weeks until one day a couple of boys sat next to me at lunch.
Hey, listen, I'm speaking on behalf of all the boys in the school. We all think you're very pretty.
What are you making fun of me?
Why would we? Those big black eyes, this long curly hair, and that tanned, flawless skin. God, I really wish Noor wasn't around. You're so pretty, Maya.
Oh, so you're a man enough to confess your feelings, but only when Noor isn't around. You're like scared mice in front of her. Just go away and leave me alone.
Told you she's not only pretty, she's brave too, and always speaks her mind. Man, I think I'm falling in love.
Just then, Noor passed by and the boys ran off like little baby rabbits. Later that day, when I walked past the bathroom, I heard some girls scream, whispering and cursing. I opened the door and found Noor and Layla pushing another small girl who was screaming and frightened. I immediately pushed Noor aside. "What are you doing? Stop this!"
Oh, look who's here, and what are you going to do about it?
"Touch her again, and I will hurt you."
Oh, really, Robin Hood? Watch this.
And then she pushed the small girl again. I was about to attack her when Layla jumped in, and the two pinned me against the wall.
Just leave before you regret coming to the school.
They let me go and I ran away, straight to the principal's office. If they thought I'd let them get away with being bullies, they were so wrong, and I was so happy when Noor and Layla got suspended for 2 weeks. Layla and I didn't talk at home, and I didn't tell Mom about anything. One day during lunch, the cute boy from the other day came to me and announced in front of everyone.
I think you're right. I can't be scared forever. I like you, Maya. Can we be friends?
Just then, Noor came running to us screaming.
No.
Suddenly, she attacked me and then she ripped my t-shirt so that everyone could see the burn scars on my stomach. I got these scars when I was 3 and I'd never told a soul about them.
Everyone just look at her. She's a freak. Why would you want to be with someone like her when you could have a perfect girl like me?
The boys were staring at my stomach, speechless, and so was everyone else. I was shocked, of course. Only my sisters could have told Noor about my scars. Angry tears started rolling down my cheeks.
Oh, look at this crybaby. Not only do you have an ugly face, it's just that everything is so ugly about you. Just stay home and say goodbye to high school.
And you say goodbye to your shiny, smooth red hair. And with that, I jumped on her and started tearing her hair out. She started screaming and crying until some of the students and teachers pulled me away. The principal demanded that I come to her office, but I pushed her away and ran out of the school. Mom was furious when she heard the whole thing. She said she wanted to come to the school. I said no and tried to convince her to stay home. But the next day, Mom turned up at school. The moment she saw Noor, she started walking towards her angrily to shout at her. But just then, Layla pushed Mom away and she fell on the ground. "Don't you dare touch my friend! Instead of coming to school to embarrass yourself, stay home and discipline your little Maya. She's a monster, not a sister!" I couldn't take it anymore. I jumped on Layla to attack her. Suddenly, Selma came running too and I knew I was about to get my butt kicked, but to my shock, she slapped Layla and pushed her away from me. Then she helped Mom get up and I couldn't believe my eyes. Did Selma just defend me and Mom?
That's enough, Layla. I would never choose a stranger over my family, especially a jerk like Noor. She promised to keep Maya's scars a secret and look what she did yesterday. And that's why I'm ending my stupid friendship with her and you, Layla.
Layla looked furious. She took Noor's hand and they both stormed off. Later that evening, I barged into Layla and Selma's room to get something off my chest. "I just came here to say you two have mocked me and bullied me all my life, but to tell my biggest secret to someone like Noor and let her humiliate me in front of everyone, that's really low even for you, and I'm done with you guys for good."
But Maya, I'm on your side.
"I'm not dumb, Selma. I only know you defended me and Mom because you probably got into some dumb fight with Layla and wanted to tease her." Just then, Selma started to cry and got down on her knees.
I swear I've changed. Maya, I've been a mean, jealous jerk. I've always envied you for your beauty and even more for your amazing personality. You're confident, brave, smart, funny, and kind. You're amazing, my little sister. You're amazing.
I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Selma was jealous of my beauty. I helped her get up and hugged her tight, and for the first time she said,
I love you, Maya. I truly do. I'm sorry. Sorry about all the pain I caused you. Please forgive me.
"It's all right now. I forgive you, and I love you too." Ew, I think I'm going to barf. I still think you're ugly, Maya, and I don't regret telling Noor anything. I'd choose my gorgeous BFF over you two losers any day. I can't even share a room with you anymore, Selma. You disgust me. And with that, she picked up her things and moved to the attic. Some weeks later, Layla had to make a presentation on Earth Day in front of the whole school, including some important guests like the Minister of Education. When it was her turn, she went onto the stage confidently and turned on the slideshow. But to my horror, I saw pictures of me on the screen with terrible things written about how dark and ugly I was.
Layla, what is this nonsense?
She looked as shocked as I felt. I swear, sir, I have no idea. This is not the slideshow I made. Suddenly, I spotted Noor in a corner laughing her head off. Of course it was her. Sir, I'm her sister and I know she didn't do that. She wouldn't. It's that girl, Noor. Shut up, Maya! Who asked you to defend me?
No, babe, she's right. I just hate her, and you're just so dumb and made it so easy for me to ruin your sister. I'm the queen of this school, and no one can replace me. And imagine if it was a dark, ugly girl like her.
That's enough. I will not tolerate this awful behavior anymore. Nor, Layla. You're both expelled.
Just then, the minister rose from his seat.
Not only expelled, I'll make sure that you only get enrolled in a strict Catholic school so you can learn some manners and discipline. You're such a disgrace to the school, bullying people for how they look. Everyone is beautiful in their own way.
The whole auditorium started to applaud as the two stormed off. By the time we got home, Mom told us that Layla had packed her bags and moved back with Dad. I think Layla and Nora got what they deserved. I won't let anyone manipulate me like they did anymore. I'm beautiful and strong just as I am. Hi, I'm Kiara, and I'm a hopeless romantic. But before I continue, please like and subscribe. I completely blame Mom for my problem. She's been a soap opera actor since her teens, and I think playing the heroine and all those love stories made her believe they were half real, even though she was often disappointed in reality. But a hopeless romantic doesn't give up easily. Despite some bad experiences, you continue to believe that one day, true love really will conquer all. So I grew up watching classic romantic movies and Disney fairy tales, and I believed in soulmates and love at first sight and happily ever afters. That's what the movies told us. It had to happen as long as we believed. Well, Mom was still looking, and I was on this journey with her. And when things went bad, I was waiting with ice cream and her favorite rom-com, When Harry Met Sally.
When you realize you want to spend the rest of your life with somebody, you want the rest of your life to start as soon as possible. Oh, my heart, this gets me every time. God, where are these men hiding?
As Mom threw her bowl away angrily, my BFF Lauren walked in.
Did I come at a bad time?
Oh no, we're just watching rom-coms and crying. The usual, come on, join us. I was mostly a normal teenager, even a successful one. I'd inherited Mom's good looks, had plenty of friends, and I got good grades. My only problem was that I was always looking for love, and I fell for guys way too easily. Like there was Anthony in freshman year, who was the one until he stopped calling and pretended he didn't know me at school. Or Leo, who forgot to tell me that he was moving to California till he had already moved. And most recently, Mark, who suddenly told me he was becoming a priest and couldn't date girls anymore. I don't get it. These guys seem to like me and it's going great. And then I don't know what happens.
They go out with you because you're pretty and cool, and then you lose your mind and drive them away.
What am I doing wrong?
Oh, I don't know. How about when you told Anthony on the second date that you were in love with him or Leo, and you looked deep into his eyes and said you could see his soul? Or Mark, you sang a song for him at his sister's wedding. You weren't even invited.
I just wear my heart on my sleeve.
You come on too strong and you always pick the wrong guys. They look like you're a dumb idea of Prince Charming, and they're exciting, but they're not right for you.
Okay. But look at this guy I bumped into at the coffee shop today. He asked me out. Lauren immediately set a calendar alert for 6 weeks. What's that before?
When you guys break up.
This time it's different, but she was never wrong. 6 weeks, like clockwork. The end, and I would scream into my pillow and swear off stupid boys forever till the next one. Of course, Lauren always supported me, but after watching my summer romance crash and burn, before senior year, she'd had enough.
I can't watch you go through this again. Listen, why don't you let me choose someone for you? I know you inside out, and I'll pick someone, right?
I'll try anything at this point.
Okay, but there are 3 rules. First, you have to go out with my pick.
Deal.
And you have to get to know him before you decide you're in love. Don't rush into it.
Agreed.
And you can't reject him until you've had at least 3 dates.
Done! We wrote it into a contract and signed it. Lauren was taking her research very seriously, and I couldn't wait. But that Friday, I came home from school to find moving trucks next door. I casually looked out my window, and that's when I saw him. He was carrying boxes, and it was a hot day, so he took his shirt off and I nearly fell out. The boy was a freaking work of art, and his smile brighter than the sun. I wished I was the box he was carrying inside his house. Maybe on our wedding day. Snap out of it, idiot! I really tried, but I just couldn't stop thinking about him. So 2 days later, I went over to introduce myself. I rang the doorbell, but suddenly I lost my nerve. I turned around to run, and I tripped and I landed face flat in mud. Someone helped me up and I turned to the son of Zeus himself.
Hey, you okay? That must have been a bad fall.
Oh, this. No, you've got it all wrong. See, we don't have mud at our place right now, so I just came over to do a mud facial. It's really good for your skin. You should try it. Not that you need it. No, sirree.
I've seen you around, and you don't need it either. You're really pretty and all. I'm Brett, by the way.
He held out his hand, and when we touched fireworks. I don't remember much from that moment, except that he said he was going to start at my school on Monday. I practically floated back home. I couldn't wait to tell Lauren, except the next day at school, she told me she'd finally picked someone for me. Lauren was explaining her decisions by the locker, but my eyes were busy scanning the hallways for Brett.
Are you hearing any of this?
Of course. Yeah, sure, thank you. But just then, Brett walked up to me, smiling.
Hey, I was hoping to run into you. Think you can show me around later?
I would love to. As he walked away, Lauren turned towards me angrily.
No!
What do you mean, no?
You have to go with the guy I picked. You signed a contract, remember?
I know, it's just that.
La 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 la! I can't hear you!
Okay, fine. Lauren had picked out this guy, Steven, and she forced me to talk to him. We've been going to school together for years. He was perfectly nice and even cute in a skinny key kind of way, but I didn't feel that spark. Still, I agreed to go out with Steven on Friday night because of that stupid contract. But I couldn't get Brett off my mind. Every day that week, we met after school in his kitchen, did our homework together, and just got to know each other. I found myself falling for him, hard. On Thursday, I learned he was falling too.
So want to go out with me tomorrow night?
I can't. It's just this stupid thing I agreed to do for my friend. She picked someone for me, and I committed to this date this Friday.
What about Saturday then?
Saturday sounds perfect. The next night was my date with Steven, and it was interesting. I always thought he was shy, but once he got talking, it was hard to stop him. He was smart and made super lame jokes that he cracked up over himself, which made me laugh, but I decided to come clean. Look, this was great, but I kind of have my heart set on someone else right now. I'm sorry.
Oh, don't be. That's a relief, actually. I'm coming out of a relationship, and I'm not ready for anything serious. So who's the guy?
It's my new neighbor. It was like love at first sight. Like he's my soulmate, you know?
No, I don't, actually. I think that whole idea is stupid.
What? Why?
Because it's stupid. Like what? We're supposed to believe that Cinderella and her prince found true love after dancing for 2.5 minutes.
Hey, there are so many other examples.
Romeo and Juliet. Those morons didn't live long enough to discover there were probably better people out there for them.
How can you not believe in love?
You have to know someone with all their flaws and then decide if you still like them enough to want to be with them. I believe in love, just not your dumb fairy tale version of it. How old are you, 10?
Gosh, you're so rude. I flung a glass of water in his face before I stormed out. Who was this jerk to judge me? I had to break the contract. No way was I going on 2 more dates with this guy. Lauren wanted to know all about my date, but I decided to tell her the details later. I had my date with Brett the next night, and that was amazing. We grabbed a quick bite from this burger joint, and then went to a party with other seniors. I couldn't believe how quickly he had made friends with everyone. People just gravitated towards him, and I loved that. We danced all night, and standing next to him, I felt important. We kissed for the first time on my porch. I walked inside feeling excited and dizzy, and then I found Lauren sitting on my bed. Yeah, she knew. I'm so sorry. I was going to tell you. It's just this time it's really real. Lauren pulled out her phone and started flicking through it. He's incredible. He's confident and fun. And we went to this party. Lauren, can you please look at me? What are you doing?
6 weeks. Just setting my alert. Come on, don't be that way. Why did you go out with Steven in the first place? Why did you ask me to do any of this? You put so much more faith in random guys than you do in people who actually love you.
Steven turned out to be a jerk, okay? He and I have nothing in common, but with Brett, it's something I've never felt before. I have to give this a chance.
Okay, 6 weeks.
And you know what? Just turn that alert off. You jinx my relationships.
Oh, it's my fault now. I'm not turning it off.
Yes, you are. Give me that. We both ended up wrestling like crazy over the phone, but as I pulled at it, it suddenly went flying and smashed into the wall. I tried to apologize, but Lauren just stormed off. I'd never really had a falling out with her and it didn't feel good, but if she couldn't support me being with Brett, then I wasn't talking to her. Brett and I were inseparable, and every weekend we went to some new exciting place or party. I never felt so happy. Maybe I was finally done with all the dates and all the boys. But after a perfect month, things slowly started changing. Brett seemed a bit distant. He didn't want to go out on dates or parties so often now. When I asked him about it, he said he missed hanging out with his friends and wanted to spend more time with them. But I had this nagging feeling, and I'm not proud of this. But I followed him from his house to the other end of town, watched him walk into a house party, then watched him kiss another girl. I stormed up to him and grabbed him by his shirt. What do you think you're doing?
Kiara, you followed me?
You're cheating on me.
Look, can we please not do this here?
OMG, is this your crazy ex you were just telling me about? The one who has a whole journal for your future wedding? Girl, I saw the pictures and you're pathetic.
My what? You went through my things and took pictures.
I just found it under your pillow one day. What were you thinking? Planning our wedding. You even had pictures of what our kids would look like. Who does that?
What I do in private is none of your business, and I never said anything to you.
But it was about me, and it's just creepy, okay? And I guess it made me realize that you're way more into me than I am into you.
And you weren't even man enough to break up with me. You just started seeing someone else. You know who does that? A stupid jerk. I pushed him so hard that he fell on his new girlfriend, and I ran out of the party in angry tears. As I waited for an Uber outside, someone gently took my hand. It was Steven. Oh, perfect. You were here to see everything. Go ahead, gloat. Laugh at me.
I don't want to do that, Kiara. He's a jerk. This is not your fault.
No, but it is because I'm so in love with the idea of being in love that I ignore the signs. I've seen him flirting with other girls, and I know he's full of himself, but I just felt so lucky that he chose me. That is pathetic, isn't it?
What can I do to make you feel better? Can I take you home?
Could you take me to Lauren's? I found Lauren in her room, and I just burst into tears. She immediately put her arms around me like she'd done every time in the past.
You have to see how valuable you really are. You give too much of yourself to people who don't deserve it.
What I don't deserve is a friend like you.
But you're stuck with me anyway.
Lauren stuck with me in the weeks that followed, and she wouldn't let Brett come near me in school when he tried to apologize, but Brett was persistent. Finally, I agreed to meet him on my porch, and for the first time, he didn't seem so confident.
I made a terrible mistake, Kiara. I just got freaked out over nothing, and not being with you made me realize how I really feel about you. Please, give me another chance.
It would have been so easy to just fall into his arms. No, I'm too valuable to give you any more of my time. It's over. We're over. A couple of weeks later, I was sitting on the bleachers when Steven joined me.
I need to apologize for our date. I had no right to judge you.
Yeah, you didn't, but you weren't wrong. And for the record, I was enjoying our date till I got mad at you.
I was enjoying our date too, till you told me you liked someone else. I lied about my breakup just so I sounded like I wasn't interested either. But actually, I've kind of had a crush on you for years. I was really excited when Lauren set us up.
Oh, I had no idea. Yeah, Lauren thought we'd be perfect together. I was actually supposed to go on 3 dates with you.
3 dates, huh? So you owe me 2 more.
I guess I do. Lauren was just coming up as he walked away.
What was that about?
I'm completing the contract. She smiled and pulled out her phone. 6 weeks?
Not this time. Not anymore.
Hi, I'm Elsa from California. Please like and subscribe. I was born to one of the most beautiful women in the world. Yeah, everyone thinks about their moms. But in my case, it was actually true. Everyone said so, and I was just like her. Dad adored us both, and we lived in a beautiful house. Life was good, almost perfect. But when I was 14, everything changed. One day, I slipped on something on the pavement outside and fell to the ground. And when I woke up, I discovered that I had small scars all over my face, and the doctors said they may never go away completely. I was in shock for a few days. Once the scars were healed, Mom took me to the mall to buy makeup. But just putting on some concealer wasn't helping much. You could still see them. The next few days, I spent hours watching YouTube makeup tutorials. I studied the way makeup artists transform their faces with layers of makeup. And once I'd applied it on myself, my parents were stunned.
Elsa, I hardly recognize you. But honey, the stuff will rub off when you play outside.
True, so I guess I won't be doing that anymore. A week later, my parents sat me down for a talk.
Elsa, we have some difficult news. Our company is not doing well and we'll have to sell the house while we're taking care of all this. We think it's best that you go to my sister in Seattle for a while.
Honestly, it was a lot to take in, but a part of me was relieved. I'd never met my aunt or been to Seattle, but it meant a fresh start where no one knew what I looked like before. 2 days later, I flew to Seattle, and a driver picked me up at the airport. Aunt's house was basically a mansion. I knew Aunt owned a skincare company, but I had no idea she was so rich. A maid led me to my room, and as I was unpacking, I suddenly jumped when I saw someone's reflection in the mirror. It was a really strange woman with an odd nose and an unpleasant expression. Hi, can I help you?
Help me? How would you help me when you've come to live on my charity?
Wait, this woman was my aunt? She looked nothing like Mom. Oh, I'm sorry, Aunt. I've just never seen any pictures of you.
Of course. Why would your vain mother keep pictures of me? All she ever cared about was herself and her looks. Judging by all the makeup on your face, I guess that's what she taught you too.
Not exactly. Since I'll be living with you, you might as well know. I took a wet tissue and cleaned the makeup off my face. Aunt stared at me, and then she started laughing.
Oh, ha ha ha! This must bother your mother so much. She couldn't even stand it if she had a tiny pimple. She was obsessed with perfection.
Well, she's not like that now.
Huh, really? I'm guessing it was her idea to get you all this makeup? Trust me, I know your mother better than you do.
With that, she just turned and left. Well, yeah, Mom had bought me the makeup, but it was what I wanted too. Aunt was just weird. And over the next few days, I realized she was really weird. She'd ask me to do the oddest tasks.
I only eat the blue candies, so pick them out and throw the rest away. Get me 6 blueberry muffins from the bakery, and then pick out all the blueberries. I'm allergic. You have to read me 22 pages every night before I go to sleep.
I tried doing whatever she asked, but then one night, she woke me up by calling me.
I need 3 apples from the tree down the road.
You need them now? It's 3 a.m. I'm not going, Aunt. And I hung up. But moments later, she appeared in my bedroom.
If I were you, I'd do what you're told, Elsa.
I've been doing that, but I think you're just enjoying torturing me.
You and your parents owe me. They're nearly bankrupt, and I've been sending them money and also offered to send you to school. So I want those apples now.
I climbed out of bed and went out. I didn't realize my parents were in so much trouble, and I didn't want to add to their stress. I got some relief from her when I started school. I was looking for my class the first day when a boy approached me.
Are you new here? You look lost.
Yeah, I'm extremely lost. His name was Christoph, and he was really nice. He showed me the way to my class, and as we parted, he said,
"Hope I get to see you around later."
Maybe Seattle would be bearable after all. As I was looking for an empty seat, a gorgeous girl waved at me.
You come and sit right here, new girl. I'm Tracy, and honestly, I'm the only person worth knowing in this class. Everyone else is boring. By the way, I just love your makeup.
Wow, this Tracy was definitely full of herself, but she was kind of fun, and soon we started hanging out every day. A few weeks later, she proposed a sleepover, but it had to be at my house. Sure, but be warned, my aunt is weird. The night started off pretty fun, but then Tracy turned to me and said,
I want to know how you do your makeup. Here, use this to take it off and show it to me from the start.
Before I could reply, I heard Aunt yelling,
Elsa, I can't find my underwear. Help me find it.
When I got to her room, I found her sitting on the bed.
Don't show that girl your face without makeup, ever.
Why not? And wait, how did you know what we were talking about?
Not important. Now listen to me. I own a skincare company, and I promise everyone perfect, flawless skin. I can't have customers knowing that my own niece is, well, not perfect. It will be bad for my brand.
So I'm just supposed to hide my face from my friend?
Please don't make me remind you about everything I'm doing for you and your parents.
Yeah, I won't tell anyone. I went back and told Tracy I was tired and wanted to sleep.
You're not going to take your makeup off first?
Nope, it'll last me another day. Luckily, Tracy didn't push it, and I was glad to have her as a friend. But the best part about school was Christoph. One time, he caught me looking at the track team's flyer.
Do you like to run?
I think it's something I could like.
I love running. Race you to the gym.
You're on! Suddenly, he sprinted, and I followed, but he was too fast. When I finally caught up with him, he was leaning against the water cooler.
Amateur!
I didn't say I was a superstar.
But you had fun, didn't you?
Before I could say yes, I wiped sweat off my forehead and saw my makeup start to run. Oh, no, I gotta go! I ran like crazy and only stopped when I reached the bathroom. I was able to fix my makeup just in time. But when I was leaving for home that day, Christoph caught up with me.
Hey, why'd you run off like that before?
Before I could reply, a car honked loudly, and it was my aunt calling out to me. Why are you here?
I can't pick up my favorite niece now. And who's that boy?
Just a friend.
You're obviously lying. You like him. Well, don't tell him about your real face if you want him to like you back.
Maybe not everyone's as shallow as you, Aunt.
Oh, yes, they are. Trust me, I know. I got mocked for my appearance all the time. I couldn't change other things, but I could change my skin. And I really did with my creams. But unfortunately, you only have makeup, and that rubs off.
She made me so mad. But what if she was right? Maybe Christoph wouldn't like me if he knew the truth. But something totally unexpected happened the next day. Tracy had bought some new foundation, and she kept insisting at lunch that I try it. I told you, I don't want to take my makeup off right now.
Can you drop it? Why are you like this? It's weird that you never take off your makeup in front of anyone. It's almost pathetic.
Suddenly I felt mad. I'm pathetic? What about you? Is there anything even real about you?
I'm more real than you are.
Really? Are your eyelashes real? And what about your nose job? Is this even real? I tugged on her hair just for effect, but suddenly half of it ended up in my hands. Oh God! I had no idea Tracy wore hair extensions.
You knew, didn't you? Yeah, I'm insecure about my hair. You're insecure about your skin. But I'd never take your makeup off like that.
How would I know? I'm sorry. But it was too late. Everyone had seen me. They all thought I was a bully now and had exposed Tracy's secret on purpose. I tried to apologize, but Tracy completely ignored me. No one else was talking to me either. And even worse, Christoph was being cold to me. Hey, it seems like you've been avoiding me.
Well, yeah, I have. That was a really messed up thing you did to Tracy.
I promise I didn't know.
I'm not sure I believe that. How could you not know? She's your best friend. You're just not who I thought you were.
That hurt me more than anything else. I felt super lonely, so I just started having my lunch in an empty classroom while watching Avatar videos on YouTube. It was the only thing that made me feel better. A few days later, I saw Christoph going into the gym, and I decided I'd tell him everything so that he could get to know the real me. He hadn't seen me yet, and just then, he started rolling up his pants. He had scars all over his legs. Suddenly, he realized I was right behind him.
Elsa, you weren't supposed to see that. Please don't tell anyone. It happened in an accident and no one knows.
Christoph, I would never tell anyone. I wouldn't even have done that to Tracy if I'd known the truth about her hair.
I want to believe you, but I don't think you understand what being insecure about something feels like. You look so perfect all the time.
And then I wiped off my makeup to show him my real face.
Oh, Elsa, I had no idea. You're beautiful. Thank you for showing me.
He pulled me into a tight hug, and for the first time since my accident, I felt seen and accepted. Accepted as me. The next day at school, I came with my makeup as usual. But Christoph showed up in shorts, exposing his legs for the world to see. What was he doing?
Elsa, I wanted to thank you. When you showed me your scars yesterday, I just became less afraid to show mine. I don't want to hide them anymore.
I don't know what to say, especially because I haven't been so open about my own scars.
Maybe you can take your makeup off now. We can take this step together.
I wish I could, but I can't let anyone see me without makeup. I told him how my witch aunt had instructed me to never take off my makeup in public, or she'd stop helping my family.
We can keep it a secret as long as you reapply it before you go home. She won't know, right?
At first, most of the kids at school didn't even recognize me without makeup. When they realized who it was, they were stunned. but I was surprised by how many people told me I was brave. Tracy looked shocked when I walked up to her. Here's my secret. Will you believe me now? That I would never have let yours out on purpose?
Yeah, I suppose you wouldn't.
I thought things were finally back to normal. But the next day, I was about to go home when someone told me to check Tracy's Facebook page. She'd posted a picture of me without makeup in a caption that said, "I guess Ms. Perfect isn't perfect after all." Wow, so she hadn't forgiven me after all. I was gonna kick her butt the next day. But when I got home, Aunt was waiting for me, looking like a tiny dragon.
You want to explain this picture to me?
Not really. You were wrong about everyone, Aunt. No one judges me for my scars. In fact, they think I'm awesome for not hiding them. And Kristoff thinks I'm beautiful just the way I am.
They're lying. They're laughing behind your back. And you messed up big time by not listening to me. I'm gonna withdraw you from that school and stop sending money to your parents.
Excuse me, what's this about you sending us money?
Aunt and I turned around in shock to see Mom behind us.
Elsa, has she been treating you badly? Why didn't you tell me?
When I told her everything, Mom was furious.
You petty, petty woman. As if you'd ever offer a single penny to anyone. I've been sending you money for Elsa's school. I know you've always envied me, but I didn't think you'd stoop so low and take it out on my daughter.
And why would I envy you? I'm successful and have all the money in the world.
Yeah, but you're gonna rot alone in this mansion. Good luck.
Mom took my hand and we left. I was so glad to be out of that house.
Honey, our business is doing much better now. And we even found a house. I came to get you so that you could see it before we bought it.
I'm so happy things are better, Mom. But do you think we could move to Seattle? I finally feel like I fit in here. Mom looked really surprised.
Yeah, I think we can do that. But are you sure?
I thought about Kristoff and smiled. Yeah, I'm sure. Hi, my name is Pomni, from Norway, and I never thought anyone noticed me. Not until I met the sleeping boy. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's start at the beginning, like and subscribe. You won't regret it. Growing up, the only person who ever noticed me was my big sister, Ragatha. My mom traveled for work so much that I even called Ragatha Mom. When I was too little to understand what was going on, my sister would take me to school, where I would sit in silence and never say a word to anyone until she picked me up again. And then I wouldn't shut up the whole way home. But she didn't mind. She liked hearing me talk, and she liked playing games with me, like making me look like one of her dolls. She would also give me a makeover using our mom's makeup. Or dress me up as a monster and have me chase her around the house. Roar! I'm gonna eat your head.
My head?
Yeah, it's the yummiest part.
You really are a little monster.
Roar! When we got older, our mom moved to another country for work. She asked if we wanted to come, but we decided to stay. Ragatha had graduated from university and had a real job now, so we didn't have much time to hang out. But every Friday, I would wait for her at the train station near my school for when she got out of work. And we would hang out all weekend. And even though we grew up, nothing really changed. Except now we didn't play dress up anymore. Now we dressed up for real to go out to dinner, or the arcade, or whatever we wanted. We had the best life. The only problem was, I was still too shy to talk to anyone, especially boys. One time when we were at the arcade, I saw a boy staring at us. Ragatha elbowed me.
He's looking at you, Pomni. Go talk to him.
My cheeks got so red, my hands all clammy. I suddenly froze up and couldn't even play the games anymore.
Okay. Let's go home. You don't have to talk to any boys. But you know, it would make me really happy if you tried at least once for me.
Maybe you can talk to a boy for me. Then I won't have to do any work. She gave me a dirty look, but she was only kidding. I knew she was right. I just had no idea how I would ever talk to a boy. Then one Friday, the train that was supposed to arrive didn't come.
And suddenly, I got a really bad feeling. After 30 minutes, the train finally came, but Ragatha wasn't on it. I called and called, but she didn't answer. Then finally, I got a call, but it was from a random number.
Hello?
Is this Ragatha's sister? Pomni, this is the hospital. Your sister was in an accident. She's in a coma.
All the air left my lungs. In the hospital, I found her lying there with her head bandaged. She looked like she was sleeping. They didn't know how, but she fell onto the tracks and hit her head. The doctor said it was impossible to know when she would wake up. From that day on, I started visiting her every day. I usually read to her, but one day I forgot my book, so I just talked. And when I left, I ran into the nurse in the hallway.
If you have time, maybe you can talk to him too. He's in a coma, like your sister. I think he was part of the accident she was involved with.
He was?
I think so, but we don't know who he is. He didn't have any ID when he was brought in.
He had no one to visit him. I felt so sad. I imagined my sister being here all alone, with no one to talk to her all day. Before I knew it, I was in his room. He looked a couple of years older than me. I sat down beside his bed, and without even realizing it, I was just talking to him, just like I talked to Ragatha. 30 minutes later, I was finally out of things to talk about. That's when I realized something. You know, you're the only boy I've ever talked to. You're a really good listener. I started bringing 2 books to the hospital every day after that. One for my sister, and one for the boy with no name. Something strange happened after I was reading to him for a few days. Every night when I went home, I would think about him and even dream that we met and talked and fell in love. I realized it was ridiculous to fall in love with someone I didn't even know. And the next day, when I read to him, I tried to push the thoughts away. But for some reason, I just couldn't help but think, maybe it was love at first sight. That night, I decided to leave the book I had been reading to him in the hospital closet so I wouldn't forget it. But when I opened it, I saw there was a leather sketchbook inside. I opened it and saw that it was drawings of people at the train station. Every page was a different person. I flipped until I found my sister. I couldn't believe it. I realized then that the nurse was right. They must have been in the same accident. And it gave me a great idea. Maybe if I could find out what happened, I could find out who he was. I went to the train station from his drawings. It was the same one Ragatha used to come and see me after work on Fridays. I saw a woman waiting for the train. Excuse me, do you know about an accident that happened here a few weeks ago?
Yes, I was here. A young woman fell from the platform as the train was coming and she hit her head. She would have died. But then the boy jumped down and picked her up. But as he pulled her away, the side of the train hit his back and he fell too.
Whoa! The boy I had been reading to all this time had saved my sister's life. Maybe I wasn't so ridiculous for having feelings for him. Maybe it was destiny. Then the woman pointed to an elderly lady.
That older woman. I think it's the boy's grandmother. She's been coming here every day waiting for him. We tell her he's in the hospital, but she doesn't remember.
I was so sad to see her waiting there for him. I wanted to tell her what happened. Excuse me, ma'am. Are you waiting for your grandson?
Yes, he's never late.
I don't know what happened, but I decided if she couldn't remember anything, maybe it wasn't a good idea to tell her something so terrible, like he's in a coma and might never wake up. But I couldn't leave her there like that, waiting for him. She had a cane and looked very weak. I'm sure he'll come home soon. Can I help you get home? I walked with her as she told me stories about how kind and wonderful her grandson was.
His name is Oscar. He's always drawing. He takes care of me.
With every word she spoke about him, I was falling more and more in love. But then I realized, oh no! Without him, she had no one to take care of her. After I walked her home, I went to the market and bought a bunch of food and took it to her house, where we both cooked while she told me more stories about him.
I always tell him he needs to meet a girl and have a life of his own. But he says he doesn't have time for girls. He says it's because of his work. But I know it's because he takes care of me every day. But there is one girl he likes a lot. He always draws her. See?
She pointed to a stack of drawings. I looked through them all. They were all of Ragatha waiting at the train station. I couldn't believe it. He was in love with her. My heart broke into a million pieces. The love I felt for him, it was all for nothing. And what was worse, if they both woke up, they would probably end up together, and I would have to watch. Still, I couldn't let his grandmother be alone, with no one to take care of her. So every day I would take the train and find her there waiting for him. And every day we would cook while she told me stories about how wonderful he was. I had to smile, but I wanted to cry. And every night after visiting her, that's exactly what I did. I cried on the train ride home, on the walk, and in my bed. And every day I would get up, go to the hospital, read to my sister, and then read to him. And then one day, I stopped reading and just talked. You know, Oscar, you're still the only boy I've ever talked to. And to be honest, the only boy I've ever loved. When you wake up, everything will be different. I'll miss spending time with you, but I hope we can at least be friends. One night, while I was sleeping, I got a phone call. Hello?
Fantastic news! Your sister woke up and she's doing really well!
I ran to the hospital and found her sitting there eating pudding. She smiled big when she saw me. I hugged her so tight, she begged me to let go. Before we left, I asked the nurse, "Can I come back to see him again?"
I'm sorry, but we don't allow anyone up here except family. I wasn't supposed to let you visit him at all, but I felt so bad.
Oh, I see. Can I say goodbye? She nodded, and I went to Oscar's room. When you wake up, I'll make sure you and my sister meet again. Oh, and don't worry. I'll take care of your grandmother until then. Goodbye, sleeping boy. I asked if Ragatha remembered anything, but she didn't. I heard a boy saved your life when you fell?
Really? I would love to meet him one day.
I'm sure you will. Fate has a way of making things happen. After that, Ragatha was still too hurt to work, so she just lived with me. But I kept seeing Oscar's grandmother every day to make sure she ate and was doing okay. One day, I knocked on his grandmother's door, and when it opened, it wasn't her on the other side. It was Oscar. I am.
Hello! Are you looking for my grandmother?
Yes.
She told me someone was taking care of her while I was sick, but she couldn't remember your name. Thank you.
Then he gave me a big hug, and all the thoughts I was trying to push away about being in love with him came back. He invited me inside, and we all had dinner. And this time, he had done all the cooking, and it was still delicious. While we sat and ate, I realized all the stories his grandmother had told about him were true. He was kind, sweet, funny. Then he asked me to wait while he put her to bed. After, he asked if we could talk outside. I said yes, but to my surprise, instead of going out the door, he went to a ladder that led up to the attic. Wait, why up there?
This is where I go to draw when my grandmother goes to bed, and tonight there will be fireworks.
He went up, and I followed him, even though I hated heights. He led me to a window and stepped out. He sat on the roof, and I sat beside him, looking over the faraway city. The lights twinkled like stars.
So how did you meet my grandmother?
Oh no! I hadn't thought about this part. If I told him the truth, I would have to say that I read to him in the hospital. At the train station. She was always waiting for you. Which wasn't a lie exactly. But now that meant I couldn't even tell him thank you for saving my sister's life. Maybe if I ask him about the accident, it will all come out naturally. But he said he couldn't remember what had happened. I felt so foolish for not telling him the truth, just to save myself from a little embarrassment. All he did was be nice to me. I decided I owed him for saving Ragatha. So even though I would be humiliated and look stupid, I would tell him the truth. But before I could, he said,
I kind of remember a little. There was this girl. I think she fell. I was in love with her.
I know.
You know? How could you know?
I saw your drawing of her. Your grandmother showed me. You were in love with her. That's why you jumped and saved her.
Actually, no. I was in love with her sister.
I couldn't breathe. Did he just say what I think he said? He looked down at the ground and said,
Every Friday, the girl from my drawings and I would get on the same train. Sometimes we talked a little. She said she was meeting her sister, and she started telling me about her, what she was like. She was cool and funny, and when she would get off, her sister would meet her. And I guess it was love at first sight, like we were meant to be. Sorry, I must sound stupid.
Good thing he wasn't looking at me. Or maybe he would have seen the hearts in my eyes. Why did you draw her sister and not the girl you liked?
I only saw her for a few seconds every day, but I always tried.
Then he showed me his book of drawings, and all the way in the back, there were drawings of parts of a girl. Never the full picture since he drew from memory but never saw her fully. It was me! I couldn't believe it!
After the accident, I can't remember what they looked like. I went to the station today, but I didn't see anyone who could have been her or her sister. I guess I'll never see her again.
Actually, you're looking at her right now. He turned to me, confused, and then his eyes lit up as he recognized me.
But how? I don't understand.
I put my hand on his and kissed him. Just then, the sky exploded with fireworks. I pulled away and looked into his eyes. It's a little complicated. Let's just say I took care of you.
Hi, I'm Mary from Texas. Please like and subscribe. I was raised in an orphanage until I was 8 years old and I never spoke a word.
Here, sweetie. What's your name?
Say something to the nice people, Mary.
They want to get to know you.
It wasn't that I couldn't speak, I was just shy. I didn't have many friends. One day when I was 8, I saw my best friend Furry stuck in a tree. I ran over to the firehouse across the road and banged on the door.
What's wrong?
Fireman? To the tree, and he immediately rescued my dog. He was amazing. The next day I decided to thank him by making him a special meal.
Thank you. Do you like spaghetti?
After that, the fireman came to visit me every week, and I felt so comfortable that I started to speak.
In fact, I couldn't stop talking.
And I hated it when we had to say goodbye. One day, the fireman came to visit with the biggest smile.
Mary, how would you feel if I was your dad?
And the next morning, I moved in with him. I had my own room, my own fireman's hat, and as much spaghetti as I wanted. We did everything together, and life was good. But in the 7th grade, Dad brought home some guests. A beautiful woman and her daughter who was my age.
This is Patricia and her daughter Jennifer. Patricia and I are getting married.
I was happy at the news.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Of course it is. I'm lovely, but it's not a pleasure to meet you. It's worse than that day. I ate a whole jar of chilies and pooped fire out of my butt. And also I had to get a tooth extraction and my appendix removed on the same day, and I hate you already.
Soon Patricia and Dad were married, and we moved into a bigger house. It was beautiful on the outside, but the inside needed work.
It's a disaster. We're not living here.
Come on, babe, it just needs a little love.
Over the next few months, Dad and I fixed up the house. By the time we were done, it was perfect. But nothing made those two houses.
What do you think?
Like we were too poor to get a professional interior decorator. We're going to the cat massage place.
Yeah, the cats there give the best head massages. It feels so good when they pull on your hair.
Really? Because I can do that for free.
Mary glared at me, and the two left.
Dad, I don't get it. Patricia is so materialistic and shallow, and Jennifer is even worse. You can do so much better.
Honey, no one's perfect Patricia and Jennifer just like nice things. What's really important is family. Promise me you give them a chance.
I'll try.
So I did. Things were better for a few months, but then I started to notice Patricia and Jennifer acting strange. One night, I caught Patricia and Jennifer whispering to each other in the dark till they spotted me.
Go to bed now, or you're grounded for a month.
And you won't be allowed to take a shower or wax your mustache for 3 months.
The next day, Patricia said she wanted to cook dinner for a change, and hours later, Dad had food poisoning. He was released from the hospital the next day, but he was still really weak. Instead of taking care of him, Patricia and Jennifer went out on a shopping spree.
I think Patricia tried to poison you.
Poison me? That's ridiculous.
I don't think so. Those two are hiding something. I just know it.
Patricia has been trying to connect with you for months, but you're always giving her a hard time. You have to accept them as family and stop making up these crazy stories.
A few weeks later, while Dad was out of town, I woke up at night to get some water, but I heard voices coming from the backyard. I looked out the window and saw Patricia and the strange man arguing. Before I could get closer, Jennifer jumped in the way.
You should mind your own business.
Who is that man?
What man?
The man you were talking to in the backyard.
Oh, Mary, you have such an active imagination. I wasn't talking to anyone. Isn't that right, Jennifer?
Yes, Mummy. Too active of an imagination compared to her small-shaped head. Why is it so small? Did you crack it open like an egg? And the doctors forgot to put some pieces back in, back in the orphanage, since you were neglected.
I went to my room and tried to call Dad, but my calls went straight to voicemail. In fact, he didn't answer his call for days, and it looked like he was missing. We contacted the police to find out where he could have gone, but he vanished without a trace. I felt miserable, but Patricia and Jennifer seemed to go on like it didn't matter one bit. Sometimes I couldn't help thinking if they had something to do with Dad's disappearance. 2 months passed, and one day, Dad's lawyer showed up to talk to me.
Your dad told me that in the case of something ever happening to him, I can tell you about his will.
What will?
Your husband left $1 million in a trust for Mary. Half to be released to Mary when she turns 18, and the other half to her legal guardian to take care of her.
What about me and my daughter? Jennifer?
Yeah. What do we get? I mean, that man had the longest ear hair, and my eyes hurt seeing that. So, yeah, I deserve something.
The last time your husband updated his will was when he adopted Mary. Here's a check for $500,000 to cover Mary's expenses.
Patricia and Jennifer went ballistic. They ripped all of my dad's pictures off the wall.
Stop! Don't!
Jennifer shoved me out of the way as she and Patricia ran around the house, destroying everything that reminded them of Dad. I grabbed my dad's guitar from his bedroom and hid it under my bed. The next day, Jennifer cashed the check. She sold the house, and we moved to another city. Jennifer made the down payment for a fancy house and car and got new clothes for herself and Jennifer, but the two made me live in the dusty old attic. A few weeks later, Jennifer and I started high school. The moment I stepped on campus, all the kids laughed at me. Jennifer had sold all my clothes and gave me only $20 to replace my wardrobe at the secondhand store.
Hey, freak.
Who are you calling a freak, dummy?
Where'd you get your clothes? A dumpster?
My mom took her off the street. It took my mom 3 months to get rid of the lice in her head. Our house kept smelling like gas. Because gas is the most effective way to get rid of lice. And it took 3 months. You get what I mean? Ha 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 ha.
After a few weeks, I learned to ignore them and focus on my schoolwork. School helped me get my mind off of how much I missed Dad. Then one day, a new boy arrived at school. He was gorgeous, and all the girls, including Jennifer, couldn't stop staring at him. He sat next to me in science class. He turned to me.
Hey, I'm Kyle. You want to be my partner?
Are you any good at science? I'm gonna need more than a pretty face.
You're funny.
Kyle and I started meeting in the library after school. He was a science nerd just like me. He loved music and was super funny. We turned in our project and got an A. After class, he walked me to my locker.
Mary, I really like hanging out with you. I was wondering if you wanted to.
Before he could finish, Jennifer appeared out of nowhere.
Hi, Kyle. How's it going? I was thinking the two of us could go to the movies this weekend.
Actually, I was gonna ask Mary.
It's so sweet you've been spending time with Mary. Did she tell you about her boyfriend? Hez blind. And Mary is really taking care of him. I mean, two needy people in a relationship, it makes perfect sense. Don't you agree? Boyfriend? What are you? It's pretty serious. They've been hot and heavy for 5 dark years, you know? 'Cause he's blind.
That night, Jennifer barged into my room.
Don't even think about messing things up with me and MHK.
MHK?
My hot Kyle. Why are you so stupid?
You and Kyle? You're not even his type. You're a liar.
And say one word to him and I'll destroy your dad's stupid guitar.
From then on, I strapped the guitar to my back and carried it with me everywhere, even in the bathroom.
You're a weirdo.
A couple nights later, I watched from the window as Kyle picked Jennifer up for their date. He glanced up at me, and I quickly closed the blinds. Kyle still sat next to me in science class. He tried to joke with me, but I ignored him.
Hey, Mary, you want to study later?
That's not a good idea.
Why not?
Please just leave me alone.
I closed my locker and walked away. Kyle didn't sit next to me or try to talk to me anymore. He and Jennifer seemed to be getting really close, so it was better that I stayed away. A few weeks later, I was walking to class when I heard a huge commotion in the hallway.
It's our 2-month anniversary and you get me this?
What's wrong? Please calm down. Everybody is staring at us.
I told you I wanted a diamond necklace.
I thought you were joking. I can't afford a diamond necklace.
Wait, are you suggesting you're poor? Why did you look rich to me? You shallow people pretending to be someone you're not? I'm dumping your poor butt.
A few weeks later, Jennifer found a new rich boyfriend named Matthew, and she was smitten. She even invited him over for dinner one night. One day, I stayed late after school to study in the library. As I was walking down the hall, I heard someone playing guitar. It was the song my dad used to play when I was a kid. I darted toward the sound. From the window, I saw a man. He was tall with short hair like Dad, but I couldn't see his face.
You almost scared me to death.
Sorry, I thought you were someone else. I didn't know you played guitar, you.
No, if you ever talk to me.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have blown you off.
I understand. Jennifer never liked the fact that I was friends with you first. So, are you any good? Or do you just carry that thing around as a fashion statement?
I pulled the guitar off my back and started to play. Kyle and I played together, and it was magical. A few days later, we entered a local talent show. We won first prize and took home $1,000. Soon, Kyle and I started playing a weekly gig at a popular venue in town. We became popular in school, and we were making good money. I stashed it all away under a loose floorboard in my room. One day during lunch, Kyle and I were in the cafeteria when Jennifer came up to us.
Hey, Rockstar. How about we hang out this weekend?
No, thanks. Mary and I are busy with practice.
Oh my, Kyle, you're so ignorant. Mary would die to please me. She won't mind. Actually, I do.
We have to work on a new song also. Why would he want to hang out with you?
Fine, whatever.
Later that night, Jennifer barged into my room.
You stole my boyfriend.
What boyfriend?
Kyle.
Why are you acting like you have memory loss?
You broke up with Kyle and we aren't dating. You won't get away with this. You took something from me, and now I will too.
Then Jennifer grabbed my father's guitar and smashed it to pieces.
Now we're even!
I charged towards Jennifer and we got into the biggest fight ever. What's going on here?
She attacked me, Mom. She's crazy. I'm scared. Mommy, hug me. She broke my guitar. She stole my boyfriend, and now she's trying to kill me. Let's get a restraining order against her. Mommy! Mary, you've always been jealous of Jennifer, and now you've gone too far. No more cell phones. No more music. No more anything.
I couldn't stay in that house another minute, so I climbed out the window and ran away. And I ended up on Kyle's doorstep. He and his mom were really sympathetic and gave me a room to stay in. But the next morning, when I went home to get my things, the doors were locked and all the furniture was gone. There was no sign of Jennifer and Patricia anywhere. Kyle and I went to talk to the lawyer about my trust fund, but the lawyer's office was boarded up. I asked one of his neighbors where I could find him.
He closed his law firm yesterday and moved away. He didn't leave a forwarding address.
I was devastated. I had no money and nowhere to go.
You can stay with me for as long as you need.
I reported Jennifer and Patricia to the police, and a few weeks later they got back to me.
This woman who calls herself Patricia, she's a con artist. She's gone from state to state cunning single men out of their fortunes. You and your father were her latest victims. And this girl, Jennifer, is her niece.
What about the money she stole? Can I get it back?
I'm sorry, but there's nothing we can do.
I went back to Kyle's house, but I was too depressed to get out of bed. Then one day, I opened my door and found a new guitar resting outside the door. Then Kyle and I wrote a song. We posted it online and it went viral. 5 years later, we were world famous. We spent all our time together writing songs, performing on tour, and falling in love. The next summer, we were married and moved to a house on the beach. But a few months later, Jennifer showed up on our doorstep in tears.
What are you doing here?
Patricia and her boyfriend skipped town after conning someone and left me behind. They even took my savings. Patricia's my aunt, who raised me since I was a kid, and I had no choice but to help her steal money from people. I'm so sorry for what I did to you and your father.
I wanted to turn Jennifer away, but she had nowhere to go. Jennifer worked with the police to track down Patricia and her boyfriend, and they were eventually successful. Patricia landed behind bars for years. Some months later, on my birthday, Kyle and Jennifer came home with the biggest smiles.
We have a surprise for you.
Jennifer and I discovered a lead on your father a while ago. It was a long shot, so we didn't tell you before, but we found something.
What did you find?
Kyle opened the door.
Dad?
Yes, honey, it's me. I've missed you so much.
Oh God, me too. Where were you all this time?
I was on a road trip and I was in an accident. I woke up with no memory. Only this. I drew this picture every night, but I never knew who I was drawing or if she was even real. I tried to start a new life, but I knew there was something missing. I had a hole in my heart. But then Kyle and Jennifer found me. They showed me videos of you performing our song, and then all my memories came flooding back. I'm sorry I wasn't there for you all these years.